Well, hello everybody, it's Dr. Carmen Bryant and this is Car Chronicles. How you guys doing? You doing all right? You know what? Spring finally done pushed through over here in Washington and it's all late, clocked in late and everything, and we're heading into summer, but that's all right. We're enjoying it for a minute. Well, you guys ready? Let's do this. Something that my mother said a few days ago that really stuck with me. Everything she says kind of sticks with me. But this is something, especially for those of you that are recovering from narcissist abuse. And what she said is when you have no value, you're unnecessary. Some of you allow people to devalue you, so you have no value. So think about it. When you have no value, you're unnecessary to the person that you think or the person that you love. But you allow people to devalue you. What does that mean? That means, you don't set boundaries. You don't understand how valuable you are. And the one thing that I bring up a lot, I talk about luxury cars and certain luxury cars that you know of, like the Bugatti, which is one of the most expensive cars, a particular type of Bugatti, or Maybach, or what's the other car I always talk about? The Rolls-Royce Boattail. Those two, the Bugatti, and there's a Bugatti Nor something, and the Rolls-Royce Boattail. $28 million car, and the other one, the Bugatti Nor, some kind of sports car, I think it's like a $19 million car. And I talk about that all the time. You don't see any advertisements out on those vehicles. They don't market those vehicles because they understand that if you purchase that car adds value to you. That car gives you a status quo. So when people have cars like that car adds value to you. You have a status quo. So they understand they don't need to market, because those cars right there put you on a different level, on a different socioeconomic status level. The multi-billionaires, the filthy rich, filthy wealthy, I don't even know if that's the correct adjective, desire that car because they understand that car puts them in a certain socioeconomic bracket. It puts them in a certain socioeconomic status. The car adds value to them. And think about the makers of the vehicle. You have some very talented individuals, very gifted individuals, those that are very good with their hands concerning fine leather and being able to put fine leather together for the interior of the car. The type of electronics and the gadgets that are in that vehicle, the fine craftsmanship on the outside, the aerodynamics of the vehicle, the sound of the engine. You have the top people putting this vehicle together, and they put a price tag on that car. And if you think about it, and some of you guys watch, I love watching, I think it's The Abandoned or something like that on TikTok and YouTube, where people go across the world and they go to these abandoned mansions and these places where, billion-dollar homes, and, they're just abandoned. They're sitting there rotting, and they're going back into the earth, and cars, expensive vehicles that are left out in the woods or left in these homes that are doing what? They're rusting, and they're returning back to the earth. So these fine vehicles and fine craftsmanship eventually begin to rust and go back into the earth from where they come from. But they put these price tags on them. They put this value on these vehicles, and people are willing to pay the price for these cars. Think about it. Are willing to pay the price for that particular vehicle. You're not going to go on a car lot and ask them, how much money do I need to put down to have a payment like, or have a low payment of. When you come on a car lot like that, you're coming on that car lot with what you want in mind. I want that vehicle, have it sent to me. I don't care what the price is. I want that vehicle, have it sent to me. You're not going to go all that. How much do I need to put down to keep my payments down to? Yeah, they already know that you don't have the money. So I said all that to say this. When it comes to your value, your value is not, your value is not assigned by someone else. Someone else does not assign your value to you. And when you have been in these rough relationships, these volatile relationships, these narcissistic relationships, unfortunately, we have allowed someone to put the value on us. And they devalue us because of the fact that they put themselves on a higher bracket. They make themselves the human Bugattis and human Rolls Royces, and they assign their worth to themselves, and they make you feel like If I'm in your life, I'm adding value to your life. When in actuality, it's the other way around. You're adding flavor into their life. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to meet people that have that. People do have value. And two people that are valuable and understand the value of each other are going to respect each other. But when you don't understand how something works, and it's inevitable, or you don't understand something, it's inevitable that that thing or that person is abused. It's inevitable that it's going to be mistreated and misused. But when you don't understand your own value, it's inevitable that you are going to be abused and misused. That's why it's so important to make sure that you have boundaries to protect your mind, to protect your emotions, to protect yourself, to protect your space, to protect your children. And those boundaries they are not to be crossed. Boundaries, if you think about it, when you have a fence around your home, the fence around your home protects the asset behind the fence. If you have a dog, a vicious dog that's behind that fence, if someone crawls over into that fence, there are consequences to crawling over into those boundaries. And the dog bites you, you are not liable for the bite of the dog when a person crawls over into that space, over that boundary. If the dog gets out of those boundaries on the other side, then you are responsible for the damage that dog causes on the other side of the fence. And so when you put up your boundaries, those are non-negotiables. Those are non-negotiables. And when you put up your boundaries, no does not require an explanation. Your boundaries do not require an explanation. Those are your boundaries to keep you safe. Now, sometimes people will cross your boundaries because of the fact that they may not know what those boundaries are. So, out of respect, you let them know, these are my boundaries. Please don't do that again. Now, Maya Angelou said, the first time someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them because that's their character. That's who they are. And a lot of times you're thinking to yourself, I didn't know this person was like this. Oh, they gave you a sign. They let you know already. When you have boundaries and they're already crossing your boundaries and they tell you, I see what I want and I go after it. And you're telling them, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I don't like this. And they're still pushing the boundaries. They step over your boundaries. You already see the problems that you're going to have. And a lot of times you guys go right past. I'm not saying you guys in general. I'm saying in general, people tend to allow people to push the boundary. Oh, he was just very assertive. He was very aggressive. He knew what he wanted. No, he knew that you had no boundaries up and he was going to cross your boundaries because he or she decided what they wanted, and it didn't matter what you thought. It didn't matter what you thought. It didn't matter what you said. That's irrelevant because I'm important. I know what I want and I'm going to go after it regardless whether you say no or not, or whether you show me boundaries. I'll be even more aggressive. I'll keep on bothering you. And what happens is you become trauma bonded because you begin to make up excuses for the person that is pushing your boundaries. But because of the fact that you lack value for yourself, guess what? They don't have value for you either. And sometimes when you have value, not sometimes, but when you have value for yourself, you also begin to stop having problems with cutting people off. You don't have to have everybody in your life. There are some people that are there for a moment. There are some people there are some people that are there for a moment in time. There are some people that are there for a season, and that there are some people that you meet that become a part of your life for a lifetime. Know the difference and know when people are crossing your boundaries. You don't have to be friends with everybody. They don't have to be in your life. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay. You don't have to be lonely. Get you a pet. Go find something to do. Go to the gym. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your emotional health. If you're that desperate to be around people, you're that desperate to have people in your life, that right there needs to be addressed. You need to get yourself a good trauma professional to help you. But listen, you got to have value because you don't depend on anybody to assign value to you. You don't allow nobody to assign value to you. You understand your value. You know what you've been through. You know the price that you paid to be you. There's a price that comes with being you. And you have to respect yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself, the person next to you is not going to respect you. You got to respect yourself. And I know it's hard for a lot of you because of things that you've been through, and your comfort zone is drama and trauma, because that's where you come from. But you assign your own value. You respect yourself. Some people are like, you're mean, you're cruel. No, I have boundaries and I'm not going to let you cross them. You're mean, you are manipulative and you're abusive. No, I'm not. I have boundaries. And my boundaries, when I put my boundaries up to protect me, they hurt you because you don't have any respect and you don't have boundaries. So a person that lacks boundaries and respect, it kills them to not be able to cross over your boundaries. Make sure you join me at my conference. And I have a new Facebook group just for women. Go check out my new Facebook group. I already posted it.